Good morning, guys, girls. Rob with you this morning. And we've got college football finals from yesterday. Did really well yesterday, 14-5. If you count my two pushes, if you give me the two pushes. And Keith, 13-6. We all did pretty well. Bama flies, 59-3. They roll their boat there. And let's get comments up. That's cool. Michigan wins. They were a pick'em game with Penn State. I liked them. They win. Oklahoma, Baylor. I thought 5.5 was too much. Baylor wins outright by 13. Mississippi State, Auburn. Auburn was a favorite here. I liked Mississippi State in this ball game right from the start, and they ended up winning that ball game. Wisconsin, Northwestern. Wisconsin gave up 24. Back home from Indiana, lost. We gave up 5. My son had 1 catch, 28 yards, 3 tackles on special teams. 6-4. Okay, so their defense did not do well yesterday. 58-21. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, nothing. Like you say, nothing to hang your hat on. But if you're a dad, you got that 1 catch, you got the 3 tackles, and he played well. So that's what you want your son to do. Team as a whole did not come out well. And MSJ lost yesterday, 58-21. Frank Wainscott just said. We'll go back to the Division I games. Wisconsin covered easily, not easily, but 35-7, 28-point cover there. Georgia had a time with Tennessee in the first half. Tennessee was up almost 10 minutes of this, maybe 15 minutes of this game. They were playing them tough. They finally figured out that they had to stop their passing game. Didn't worry about their running game, and that's what I just put the skids on Tennessee. 41-17, Georgia covers. Ohio State, they put the brakes really quick on Purdue. Purdue's been everybody's worst nightmare all year long. Not any longer. Here we got Keith coming on back with us too. Purdue's been everybody's nightmare the whole season. Not any longer. They did what they had to do, and I'm seeing it. My mom's not feeling great too, so I'm gonna have to go down there and check on her in a few minutes. But Ohio State, they played a good game. They played a real good game, in fact, and won by 28 points, covered easily. Iowa, Minnesota. Iowa had the chance to cover at the end, and elected to lay on the ball. That's a class move. 27-22.
That's going to segue somewhere.
Yeah, let's go segue. Let's go segue to Baylor in just about 2 minutes here. Yeah. We'll go back to the Baylor game. Yeah, Oklahoma, Baylor. Look, folks, Oklahoma was favored by 5.5. Baylor was up 24-14. The last play of the game, the Baylor coach decides to kick a field goal.
3 seconds left, right?
Well, they kicked it with 3, and it ends up being 0 on the clock after that. All I can say is that's when I almost wish they could have got a 10-point score the other way and blocked the damn field goal and ran it all the way back. That's garbage. When asked about it directly after the game, the coach looked at it square in the eye and said, "For tiebreaker purposes." Now, let me preface this by saying it this way: the tiebreaker with points goes down to about the 5th level. Head to head is number 1. You just friggin' beat Oklahoma, you dumbass. Come on. That's garbage. I didn't like that move. So Baylor, you don't get my respect now just because you're stupid ass coach. Michigan 40-21. Michigan State, I'm sorry, 40-21 over Maryland. They covered pretty easily there. Ole Miss, they covered pretty easily over Texas A&M. I took A&M in this game. Ole Miss came up and played pretty well. Kentucky did not cover against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt decided to play yesterday. 34-17, they were at home, so give them a little bit of credit there. Fresno State covers over New Mexico. I picked New Mexico in this game. I thought the points was too much. Not at all. A bunch of us took NC State. Harris took Wake Forest. Wake Forest wins by a field goal. They covered the 2 points. Notre Dame. Little did we know that University of Virginia wouldn't even have their starting quarterback. Otherwise, this would have been a 15.5 point. That's the way the point spread would have been. 5.5. That was my lock of the week. Boom. We all four took that one over UVA. They smashed them. Oklahoma State, 63 points. They're just looking at the clock, waiting for Oklahoma chance to give them their second loss, and I think they got a legit chance of doing that. They beat TCU 63-17. Oregon, Washington State. This is a push game. 14 points was what they're favored by. 38-24, exactly what Vegas wanted. San Diego State. How often does a 2-point game become a push? 23-21. Vegas knew something there. And that's what happened in college yesterday. Today,
hey, Rob, I was just going to, as devil's advocate, what if the Baylor coach said, well, when I said tiebreaker, what I was talking about was that little bit more that might incentivize the committee to put us ahead of somebody to get into the playoff?
Well, the thing of it is, they've got a set playoff situation as far as it's written in stone how they get to the Big 12 championship. So it's not by a committee member saying I like this one over this one. No, it's decided by tiebreakers and stuff like that. Wins and losses on the road, wins and losses at home, different things like that. It's all set that way.
But I'm just wondering, like, if it came down to Oregon and
I don't think those 3 points.
Baylor, what were they? Are they ranked high still? Or?
Baylor's unranked right now. I think Baylor got beat.
They don't. Then
No.
All moved because they don't.
They're number 12, but I think they've got 2 losses. I think they've got 2 losses. I'm not sure.
Okay, so they need a lot of help.
If they've only lost 1, they've got a shot there at the. But like I say, if both of them have lost only 1, the head-to-head means everything. And then who did Baylor lose to? Baylor lost to. Did they lose to Texas? No.
Didn't you say it was Iowa State? Was it Iowa State?
Might have been.
Who did Iowa State beat? They beat somebody that was up there. Was it Oklahoma State?
Iowa State. Did they beat Kansas State?
But they beat somebody.
TCU. I took TCU's who beat Baylor.
Okay.
TCU. So they're in the same. They're in the Big 12 with them.
Yeah, 30-28. Just a week ago, Rob. I mean, our memories are so good.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Especially when I got it written in front of me here. That's really good.
We're losing subscribers.
Oh my. Today, Buccaneers at Washington. Landover, Maryland. 50 degrees. 8 mile an hour winds. That's not going to deprive.
Oh, Iowa State beat Oklahoma State 24-21.
Yeah, back a couple weeks ago. Yeah, a week or 2 ago. Buccaneers going to Washington today. 50 degrees, 8 mile an hour winds. Tom Brady is smiling from here to the sun. He's going to throw for 375 yards, 4 touchdowns. They're going to cream. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I just have a feeling that somehow Washington stays in that game for a while.
Okay, folks. Okay, somebody get their headphones and hook them up with Keith. Week 1, Washington loses 93-0. Week 2, Washington loses 76-0.
I understand that, but I didn't think they had a chance to play competitively against Tampa Bay in the playoffs last year, and then they did. So, I mean, Tampa was
all in all,
awesome right then.
They were playing at home last year in the playoffs when they knew they had 65,000 people.
Of course, their defense was playing good then too.
Yeah, they actually had a defense,
right?
And they were playing a home playoff game that shouldn't have ever happened with a 7-9 team playing a 12-4 team.
Right.
That was a bullshit deal anyway. That they even had to go to Washington. Then
if you're below 500, you shouldn't even be. You shouldn't get the division seeding thing. Then you should just drop down to the bottom of the stack.
Good day, lads. What's up, Kindly?
Hey,
that's why I say we can't take too much of that into effect this year. Washington sucks this year. Tyler Heineke. People have figured him out.
And how much of it is Ron Rivera, you think? I mean, do you think if Mike Tomlin was the coach there, do you think they'd have a good record? Do you think they'd be
with that roster? I think he would turn the roster over. I think he would turn the roster over.
4-4, maybe.
I think number one thing they've got to do, they've got to get themselves an offensive line. They need at least 2 more pieces of offensive line. Then you get yourself a quarterback. You go out here and get you a guy like Malik.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, every draft should, at some point in every draft, you should try to get an offensive line. Every year. I mean, there's no exception.
Look at the Bengals. The Bengals put the cart before the horse. They went out and get Joe Burrow. I think he could be a damn good quarterback. But they got nothing in front of him, and what happens? My man goes to the ER everywhere.
But somewhere in the first 3 rounds, every single year, you should draft a lineman, and because some of them are not going to pan out. Some of them are going to become free agents and they're going to leave. Yeah. Some of them are going to get hurt. I mean, so you're going to, if you keep every year, you'll at least have 3 or 4 guys you can count on.
Have 8 guys on your roster that can cover, that can defend the quarterback.
But, I mean, at worst, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that are pretty solid up in the front.
Yeah,
if you do that.
But I'm telling you, Joe Burrow right now, he knows the ER. He knows the ER doctor good as anybody in Cincinnati right now. I'm sure. When he goes to, it's a shame, but that's the way it works. Saints at the Titans today. 50s, wind around 13 miles an hour, so the wind could be up a little bit. It's worth keeping an eye on, but it should be fine. If that's the case, the Titans were throwing the ball around a lot last week, and I'm the one that's not sold on the Titans. Burrow is happy for the bye. I'm one guy that's not sold on the Titans. I think the Titans are a better than average team. Do I think they're, a lot of people are saying they could be the Super Bowl team now with Buffalo out. I'm liking New England more than I am than the Titans right now for a couple of reasons. But today is going to show. Tannehill in the wind is going to have to throw the ball against his Saints team.
I think New England.
Only one took his Saints. Everybody else took it. Titans.
New England has become one of the top. I mean, I said a couple weeks ago when we were going over who the top 3 teams in the conference were that I wanted to kind of wait at least another week or 2, and I think they've earned my respect enough to put them in the top 3 in the AFC.
Ken says, "Give me a lock today. I need to pay some bills."
Well, if you would have went with mine yesterday, you would have lost. So don't go with me.
Well, Ken, if Washington football team is playing, you go against the Washington football team. 7.5. If you can get the Bucks at 7.5 today, you take it. You run to the bank and put $500 on the Bucks, and then you send me my $18 fee. My $18 fee.
Steelers, when Roethlisberger was playing, a 10-point favorite, I went with the Steelers. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
I went with the over 44. I'm going to stick with that. So, because if the Steelers score fewer points, the Lions might score a few more. I mean, but I still think the Steelers win that one kind of comfortably. Defense, turnovers.
You know, I took the Lions and the 10 points this week, and I went with the under. And there, and let's say there. Also, there's currently a 50% chance of rain with temperatures in the low 40s, wind around 9. If this moves closer to 100% of chance of rain, we can move it up into, quote, a bad weather game. But right now, it's a 50-50 chance of rain, and plus 10 for Washington here. Passed in? No, don't pass. Don't pass. Give up your 10. Take the Bucks. Give up your 10. Ask Keith. Keith has been on Washington's side all week, but Washington has not won since George Washington was the president. So,
He crossed Delaware or something.
He threw a dollar bill across Delaware, and Tyler Heineke threw 2 touchdowns. I think the league has figured out Mahomes. You know what, Mahomes he's got a lot of problems on the offensive line, but I think Mahomes is not. But I don't think he's as good as a lot of people say he is too. But
we'll see.
Washington football team so far, Ken, of all the games we've covered so far, that's the one to go with. To me, I would put some money on it. I would, if you contact me, I'll put 20. I'll go 20 along with you.
One thing that I wouldn't say is a lock, but I have a high degree of confidence in is the Packers covering the 5 against Seattle today. I just think, Rodgers is a guy that when he's given an opportunity to make a statement, it seems like he does it. So
yeah, but not so much for the team as much as for himself.
Right.
And he likes to show off and be like, okay, you saw what you got last week without me.
Right, exactly. And then this week he's got the other quarterback going back, Wilson. They've had some big games against each other, a lot of them actually. And I think this is there's a lot of stuff here I think that adds up to Rodgers just coming out and displaying his best.
I'm with you. 5 points is nothing. If it
snows, the
–
weather's going to be bad too, and I don't know if that's going to – what was the injury? Was it a thumb injury or a finger injury or something that Wilson had, a dislocation, a break?
It was actually a break, I think.
Because his finger was like in a different direction.
This is not going to help it, the cold weather. No. What's up, Arnold? Let's go on through all of the weathers today. None of them say terrible, but some are not the greatest. Browns at the Patriots. Pretty nice. Temperatures in the 40s. Wind around 8 miles an hour. That's pretty much a non-factor. Bills at Jets. Weather shouldn't be too bad. Skies will be clear. Temperatures in the high 40s. Winds around 10 miles an hour.
Hey, Arnold.
Yeah. You got Seattle +3 there.
Does your buddy Arnold want to come on with us? He's been on before.
Arnold, would you like to come on here? Who throws for more yards, Mayfield or Jones today? I'm going to give Keith that one. Who throws for more yards today? Don't forget, the Browns have no running attack.
Mayfield.
So if I'm leaning, I'm going to say Mayfield throws for more yards. I like the Patriots to win.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would go with Mayfield, but
win more yards. But I think
he might throw more interceptions too.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a game where the Patriots, if they come out the way they usually do, they're going to try to run the football as much as they can.
If the Patriots play a mistake-free or at least, a pretty disciplined game where they don't make a lot of mistakes, I think that they have a very good chance of coming out of there with a victory. It might not be pretty, but
who is this?
The Patriots. I mean,
I agree.
Should be a good game. That should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, and what's the line right now with the Patriots?
3 points is what we had on Tuesday.
3 points. Yeah. That's awful close, though. That's not one I throw money on right now because like you say, Mayfield's probably going to throw for 350 yards today because he's going to have to. Because they're not going to run for 100 yards today. The whole team won't. They're going to have to throw the football. Jones is going to have some running going behind him. I will say this. whoever has the most turnovers in this game loses this game. I think that. And I think there's a good chance Mayfield will throw 2 picks. Jones probably throws 1. Jones is still a rookie. We're not going to put him. We're not putting him up here yet. We're still, but he hasn't reached his ceiling yet. So until he reaches his ceiling, Mister Man on FS1, we will keep watching. Brady will throw for 400 today. It would not be a surprise to me. Not at all. Not at all. He could throw for 4 touchdowns. Yeah.
About the only thing that would stop that is if one of the linemen goes in and sits on his face after late, gets a 15-yard penalty and knocks him out of the game.
But I'm telling you, if I'm throwing money today, if I'm pitching money at Vegas, that's a game I'm going with. The Bucks. I give 10 points. Shit. If you show up to the game 15 minutes late, it's probably already going to be 14-0. So you probably have no worries there, guys. Let's see. Vikings at the Chargers. Perfect weather. San Diego, as always. Low 80s, winds around 6 miles an hour. Eagles and the Browns. Eagles and the Broncos. Mile High Stadium. Upper 50s, clear skies, around 9 miles an hour. Wind around 9. Great weather. Seahawks, Patriots.
Packers.
Seahawks, Packers. Will be chilly, temperatures mid-30s, wind around only 9 miles an hour, 25% chance of rain, but those odds increase as the game goes, and there's a better chance of sleet and snow.
Is that a late start?
That's a 4:30 start, a 4 p.m. or 4:30 start. So it's a later one. Rams at 49ers, clear skies, highs in the 50s, perfect weather for some football. Home sweet domes. Panthers at Cardinals, dome. Chiefs at Raiders, dome. Jags at Colts, dome.
Kyle Rudolph is the quarterback for the Steelers today.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Kyle Rudolph is going to start, but they also they have not ruled out the chance that the kid from Washington that played for Washington, played for OSU, he could be in there some. Haskins. Falcons at Cowboys, and that's doom. I think that spells doom for Pittsburgh if he does play. He just has not shown anything the last couple of years. Falcons at Cowboys, domes. So nothing tremendously out there. Keith and I both like the Packers. We give up 5 points there. Yeah, you're giving up 5. But there's 2 things to be had here. Number one, Wilson's coming back from a broken bone in 30-degree temperatures with stuff falling. If you've ever had a broken bone, you know it's no fun. Then with the cold weather, it's not going to help. Aaron Rodgers, number 2, is going to try to prove a point. Look what Love did. Look what Love did without me. Look what Love did, and I want out. Now I'm here. It's my house.
Yeah, which offense do you want? The one you saw last week or this one?
Right. And that's the way Rodgers is.
Oh yeah, that's the way he is all the time.
That's the way he's always been. There's some games I wouldn't touch with a stick this week. Eagles, Broncos, 1.5, and they're going up Mile High, and the Broncos are favored by 1.5. That's pretty much a pick'em game. And to me, the Broncos have a better defense. Teddy Bridgewater, you just don't know where his head's screwed on. 1 week he can play great. Couple of weeks in a row he can play better. But who is hotter, Sam Ponder, Aaron Andrews? Sam Ponder. Aaron Andrews is not pretty in my book. She's not. Oh yeah, she's not cute. To me, she's not. Anyway, I just don't think
she's good looking.
I don't think she's pretty at all.
Well,
Falcons and Cowboys. They're giving up 9.5 today. The Cowboys are. Do you have enough confidence in them coming back? I think they do. We all did on the panel. We think the Cowboys win this game comfortably, probably by. I said by
Ponder.
Probably.
Sam Ponder.
Yeah. Shake your head twice on that one, right? Yeah. Yeah. She's cute. Yeah, her husband used to be the quarterback of. He played at Florida State, and I want to say maybe he went to Minnesota. I can't think of his name. His last name's Ponder. Christian Ponder, maybe. Maybe that's his name, Christian.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah. I've seen her before. Yeah, she's a cute girl. Yeah. What game do you like, Keith? If you had $100 and you were going to put it right now on a team, it doesn't have to be a favorite. It could be one that's not. To me, the Buccaneers 7 and somebody put on there 10 points. I'll give 10. I just don't. Where's Washington going to score their points?
$100.
Heineke, yeah, he can run out of ruts and all, but man, oh man, this Tampa Bay defense is for real. To me, this could get messy. I mean, when I say that, 4 touchdown messy, it could get bad. If they lose 40-10 today, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Again, I think I would probably put it on Green Bay to cover the
Green Bay. Okay, Green Bay, and is that still 5 guys? Is that still?
I think somebody said 3. Ken Castro said 3. Yeah.
Does anybody else want to come join us today? Anybody else want to come join us? We're only going to be on for a few more minutes. We might be on as much as 20 more minutes. My wife is Christmas shopping, so I am distracted by a hit NFL host. Oh, by hot NFL. I bet it's hot NFL host. Yeah.
Is that you?
No, not me. Sam Ponder. Are you kidding? He's listening to us. He's watching her. He's listening to us. Are you kidding? Shit.
You like that Cynthia Freeland on
I don't watch NFL. I don't watch NFL Network.
Supposedly she does pretty good. I've never stopped to calculate how often she's correct, but it sounds like she's been right like 2/3 of the time.
Yeah, I don't watch her very much. I don't watch much sports. Now, let's see. If you ask my wife, I watch sports all the time. I don't watch them talking about the shit all the time.
Yeah, we were talking about that together earlier.
Does Florida give up 50 points to Sanford? What a joke. Bye-bye, Dan Mullen, King Pizza fan. Keith, 5 minutes before we came online, what did I tell you?
Yeah, you said that Dan Mullen's gone.
Dan Mullen is lucky if he still has a chair in his office Monday morning. They got to fire his ass. They were down 14 points in the first half. And it wasn't Sanford and Son. It was Sanford, yeah. We was wondering what junk heap they come out of. What was your average? What was your overall grade for games yesterday? I went 14-5. He went 13-6. Yeah, I might be a stalker. I better change the channel.
I thought I guess that's probably
Frank wants to keep watching. Sam, I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you at all. Jags. Well, hey, how about this one? Jags and Colts. The Jaguars are going on the road to play the Colts, and the Colts, and they're 10-point favorites. And not a one of us picked the Colts today. And I went back and looked at that, and I was like, were we sober when we picked these games?
I was just thinking that a couple minutes ago. Yeah, because I think if I was picking it right now, I'd probably go with the Colts. But
everything points to the Jags playing a good game this week.
It was probably still fresh in our minds what they did to Buffalo, and that's probably what got to us.
It still was probably pretty fresh what the idiot, what's his name, did in the end zone the other day too. For the Colts.
Oh yeah, wins.
Oh yeah. You can't. That don't leave your mind that quick. It takes about 4 weeks for it to get the hell out of your head because that's just crazy. How far does Oklahoma drop after their loss to Baylor? They have to drop considerable.
Their odds are
8, probably 8, 9. Where does that Michigan State running back Walker rank among Heisman candidates? He's way low just because they don't let him run as much as he should. They've been throwing the ball around a lot too much. And they're not showing it. The only show-off game he's had is a Michigan game. Next week, Tails. They got Ohio State next week.
Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, maybe Wake Forest and Baylor will probably all jump Oklahoma.
Baylor jumps 2 or 3 of them this week. Baylor will be in the top 6 or 7.
See, they got what coming into this week. Wake Forest was 12. They squeak out a win against North Carolina State. Baylor though got the big win against
Baylor. Where was Baylor? 13.
13. Yeah,
they'll be 8 or better.
They're gonna. I mean, A&M was 11. They lost. So they're gonna drop.
No problem. And then who's 10?
Oklahoma State.
They'll jump them. Who's number 9?
Notre Dame. Notre Dame will jump Oklahoma too.
Yeah. Who's number 7?
Michigan State.
I'm talking about who Baylor's going to jump over too, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Baylor. Yeah.
Baylor should be ahead of Oklahoma in this poll, even if Oklahoma's fallen from 3.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to jump Notre Dame, and I don't think they're going to jump Michigan State.
Who was in front of Notre Dame?
Michigan State was the closest team that won.
They played well, so they don't deserve to fall.
So does Michigan have a chance of jumping over Cincinnati? Cincinnati did win, and they won by 17 or something.
And Michigan won by
just a couple, maybe 3,
5 points,
3 or 4. Was it 21-17? Something like that.
Let's see what Michigan won.
I think they were down by 3.
21-17.
Okay, so then
yeah.
But that was a tougher place to play.
Frank says Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oregon, Cincinnati. Nah. Georgia, Bama, Oregon has to be 3. Oregon has to be number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think the top 4 stays the way it is.
Ohio State can be 4. It's all going to matter next week.
The top 6 might stay the way, or top 7 for that matter might stay the way.
They're not going to change. Yeah. Yeah, that's the top 4. Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oregon. Yeah.
With Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, and
Cincinnati,
either Baylor or Wake Forest running out the top.
Cincinnati can't make it now. Cincinnati can't make it because whoever's in front of them, it's a block now. Because let's say Ohio State loses.
Yeah.
Michigan State has to jump them. They have to.
I think they'll probably move Baylor ahead of Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Even though both won, I think they'll probably do that.
Yeah.
And then Ole Miss was 15. I didn't see. Did BYU play this week?
I didn't see BYU. I don't think BYU. I think BYU was off this week.
I don't know. So, I mean, BYU was 14. Ole Miss was 15. They'll probably. Well, either they stay where they are, or they move up a little.
Yeah. Let's see. Who else? We all like the Cardinals this week. Is there any way in hell the Panthers can keep us within 2 touchdowns?
Well, they got Cam Newton now.
Yeah. Is that supposed to say, yeah, Rob, they can, or is that wrong? There ain't no way in hell they got Cam Newton. Because Cam Newton has not impressed us at all in the last year and a half. He's done nothing to help us.
The only thing is he any worse than what they've had playing there this year?
Is he even starting though? Is he starting or is he?
I think so.
All right, let's see if he is. Let's see.
And he's not any worse than anything else they've had this year, probably.
And the thing is, they liked Darnold coming at the gate. They really liked him. They thought he was going to do something. Darnold just ended up being a damn flop. Yeah. Rodgers, Wilson, both back today. We give the advantage big time to Green Bay, not only being at home, the weather, but intangibles. 5 points. Keith says lay the 5 and take it back all the way. If it's only 3, jump on it and get on your horse real quick and get the money in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is quarterback for the Panthers today?
If Seattle wins, I have to crawl under a bed and stay there for a while.
PJ Walker. PJ Walker starting quarterback this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
The way they were talking on NFL Network.
Now, I didn't think he'd been there enough to really.
Oh, okay.
So Cam Newton's going to be the backup. Now, the chances that Cam Newton sees the field today, I would say, is pretty damn good. And probably before halftime, especially if they jump on them like 21-3 early, why not play him? Why not? I mean, what the hell? I agree with that call.
So something we haven't touched on yet today, Rob. Does the injury to Woods make the issue of having Beckham worse Because now you're more dependent on him?
Because now he's got more power.
Right.
Yeah, it could. It could. And since he goes unbeaten and does not make the playoff, then don't rank non-Power 5 schools no more. Yeah, you're right. Wow. The Rams are 3-point favorites with Woods. Now, I haven't looked. Has anybody got the new updated? But Woods is out for the year. We know that, and Odell Beckham Jr. is going to step in, going to be a slot receiver, and he may end up being the wide out before it's over with. To me, this is a project that you got to work. I mean, you don't have a choice much. You got to pretty much play him Monday night. But this is a project you can blow up in your face if you let it. This is when Sean McVay has to show his coaching ability. Can they go into 49ers and lose and still be okay? Yes. Can they go to the 49ers Monday night, lose, and then have half a team wanting to go with OBJ and half a team? No. That's the problem. You got to have everybody on the same channel. And that's why I say it's a risk having him in there to start with. I like you I picked the 49ers originally. I like them more now than I did. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a line for this game.
We had 3 when we did it the other day.
49ers Rams line this week. It's probably dropped though. No, it hadn't. It's actually 3.5. It's actually went up. And our over/under was 40. Our over/under was 47. That's 49.5. How about that?
I guess when Beckham joined the team, people started putting more money on the Rams, but
yeah, but not so much in Vegas liking them. But
I wonder if it had gone up to like 4 or 5 and it's starting to come back down with the injury to Woods.
They put a hook on them, though. They got a hook, 3.5 now. So, to me, this is a game right now that if I'm taking the Niners in this game. I think straight up they can win it, but if they lose by a field goal, the hook right there protects you. Chiefs and Raiders. That's another one. All of us picked the Raiders. 3 points is all the Chiefs are giving up tonight, but they're in Vegas. I think we all see that Mahomes is running for his friggin' life. He's running for his friggin' life every week. It's not against good teams. It's against everybody. This offensive line may be one of the 5 worst in football. Mm-hmm. I watched Apple Bryan this week. Apple Bryan, shout out to you, your son, and your son-in-law. And they're homers, and they picked Kansas City. But his son, I think one of them may have picked the Raiders to win. And I'm thinking to myself, that's when it becomes hard. When you're a homer, you like a team so much, and you know that team is so good, and you have to pick against them because you just don't have confidence in them. That's when you start seeing that the team is maybe not as good as you thought they were. And that's why I think the Chiefs they're not in the up year this year. Latest rumors of LSU and USC, I've said all along, I've said for 2 months long, Luke Fickell will be the USC coach. LSU is a little tougher. LSU is a little bit tougher. I know a lot of people say Jimbo Fisher. I don't think Jimbo Fisher leaves that cushy job in Texas at A&M. Obviously the sexy pick is James Franklin. But James Franklin's lost 4 ball games now, folks. He has lost 4 games. They're 6-4.
Sanders had a foot surgery or something, and it sounds like there were some complications with it, and he was in a lot of pain in the hospital.
Yeah, Deion Sanders had foot surgery about a week and a half ago, and I want to say some extra swelling came into it. I don't think any What do you call that shit? Gangrene or not? I don't think none of that happened. I don't think he got that bad, but he had
Probably a
some,
nerve or something.
yeah, something was bothering him, and he's been on airplanes a couple times too, which is not good. They tell you after a surgery for a month, don't go and get on an airplane. And he's, obviously there's big word that Deion's going to TCU. I think it's a good chance he will. I really do. And now with him in his wheelchair, even more chance. Dan Mullen's situation in Florida, that just opens up a can of worms all the way around if they do fire him. Because number one, they promised the alumni that we were going to have a guy that we were going to have here for 5 years. Dan Mullen's lost the locker room. And then you go play a team like Samford. And you're just wondering, at halftime, they had to be hollering, Fred, where's where's on Ast at? Because, they were in some trouble. They were in trouble at halftime. And that's a shame. That's a shame for the Florida team. Now, big ups to Samford for showing up. But they still got 2 more games. This team, to me, you're 4-5, I think now, right? I think they're 4-5 or 4.
King Pizza fan, are you looking for a bold prediction on a player's statistics today, or
a game pick,
or a game
choice? We give you a couple of game choices, but we'll go back through them again. Florida, to me, Mark Stoops at Kentucky. If you're going to get him, now's the time. Either player or a team. Okay, we'll give you a player that's going to throw for really well, or somebody's going to catch for a lot of yards or run for a lot of yards, and a team behind it. Keith, how many yards is Rodgers going to throw for today?
I'm glad you went with Rodgers, because I was just thinking about kind of what kind of day I thought he was going to have.
Yep.
The thing is, with Green Bay, I think Rodgers will probably throw for about 280 yards, because I think they're going to run the ball some today.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling Green Bay's offense is going to click pretty good today, and I do think Rodgers will throw at least 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, you like?
And at least maybe 4.
If Fickell leaves, who is the next Cincinnati coach? Oh man, that's an excellent question. Oh boy, who would go to Cincinnati? That's when maybe you go back and look at somebody that's been a past player. That maybe Larry Harris, happy snow day, y'all. Where's Larry at? Is Larry up around Green Bay area? I know it snowed a little bit up in Happy Valley up in Pennsylvania yesterday with Penn State. That's a great question, Frank. Who would be their next? You would probably have to get somebody that went to Cincinnati that maybe played NFL football, and you get them in there and be like, okay, we got a big name now. Northeast Ohio. Okay, so he's right there at Michigan. Yeah. Oh no, he's right there at Pennsylvania.
Right.
Oh, okay, Northeast.
Upstate New York.
Yeah, yeah, he's up there. Yep. So wow.
So they must get quite a bit of snow up there.
Yeah, he's right off of I-90 and right off of Lake Erie. Yeah, that's wild.
Kind of like Buffalo weather.
Yeah. How far is I-90 from your house, Larry? And we're not forgetting about King Pizza fan. We're not forgetting about your questions either. But the Fickell question really did get to me there. I was like, wow. I don't
Brady
know.
454 touchdowns. Ooh, man. Gosh, I hope not.
And I've said all along, I think you can do it. So you got. All right. Let's turn the watch.
Another kind of a bold prediction that I have, and this is nothing I'd put money on or anything, but it's kind of like the bold upset of the week, sort of. And that is, even though it's 1.5 points, but I think the Eagles are going to go into Denver and win comfortably today.
Who is that now?
The Eagles.
You think
a lot of people think, probably after Denver, or after what Denver did in Dallas last week, that Denver, their stock's probably risen. And I think the Eagles are a better team than what we've seen this year.
Yeah.
And I think that they could still get themselves into a playoff contention if they can.
Right. Now we were talking about Rodgers. Now let's talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson today throws for how many yards?
Probably about 250.
250. How many touchdown passes? How many touchdown passes?
I want to say one.
All right. Any INTs?
Yeah, I'll say he's going to throw one interception, but what I'm going to say is he's going to fumble once or twice.
Oh, okay. So you're saying his hand is going to play a part in this game.
Maybe not because of the injury so much, but with the weather, I think some blitzes, some stuff like that. He might not have the timing of the game down quite yet. Might hold the ball a little too long.
I got you. I'm gonna go over to the Buccaneers, Washington football team. King Pizza Fan says Brady throws for 450 today. The only reason I say he doesn't is I think it's going to be such a smear the first half. He's going to sit down in the third quarter. I'm going to say Brady throws for 315, 4 touchdowns. I'm going to say one pick. I'm going to say he throws one pick. But
do you think he distributes those touchdown passes, or do you think Evans gets them all, or what?
No, I don't think Evans will get them all. I think Quick Draw McGraw, the guy from Pittsburgh, that came from Pittsburgh, he's too fast. He's too fast for some of these guys. Antonio Brown.
Okay.
I think he could have a big.
When does Gronk come back?
Gronk comes back today.
Today.
Yeah. So
He'll get one of them.
Maybe make that 5 touchdowns, right? Yeah.
2.
I'm just telling you, this is a game that I think by halftime, Fox is going to be talking on New York and say, "Can we switch over from this game to another game because this is such an ass whipping?" I really believe it's going to get that bad. Tyler, I think it will. Tyler Heineke today will throw for 175 yards, 3 INTs, no touchdown passes. This team will not score.
Is there any chance Heineke gets taken out of the game early today just to?
Oh, he may get taken. He may get taken out, but not on all fours. I mean, not on 2 legs.
Who's their backup? I don't even know.
All right. Yeah. Gronk is considered out today. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, they pick him up off the street once a week, and they give him a chance to play, whether they can or not.
Yeah.
Most time they keep him when he can. Here are 3 names I think Florida might have interest in: Stoops, Napier, Elko. I said all along, I think Mark Stoops is the guy. I really do. Everybody tells me, AB's not playing today either. I'm not backing up from my challenge at all. Maybe Evans gets 4
touchdowns. The top 3 or 4 coaches in college right now that are playing at smaller schools. You talk about the guy from Cincinnati. That are like top of the list to get promoted to a bigger school.
Right. Well, Michigan State's head coach, just won that big game against Michigan, and now they got to play Ohio State. It's been rumored that he was going to go to LSU. Well, I heard today that they were going to offer him $2.5 more million per year for 5 more years. They're hoping to get that on his desk Monday morning and get him to sign.
AB's out too, huh?
Do what? Yeah, AB's out too. Yeah.
Mm.
What's Michigan State's coach's name, guys? Help me out. But anyway, he's a good coach, damn good coach. And if LSU can get him, that I mean, it's not a home run as far as maybe getting. But the thing is, so many of the good coaches now are 70 years old. You just don't want to get those older coaches.
Mel Tucker.
Frank Wainscott says Brian Kelly to USC.
Yeah, Mel Tucker, King Pizza.
Mel Tucker. That's it. Mel Tucker, I don't think leaves. I think he'll stay at Michigan State.
I would think that would be a pretty good job, huh?
Michigan State job is a great job to
Yeah.
have. But the thing is, like we always talk about on here, what is the conference that's talked about? Like, as soon as you see the lights come on the studio, who's the first team they talk about? It's not always Georgia. A lot of times Alabama.
Yeah, usually Alabama.
Usually Alabama or Georgia's the Southeast Conference team. And that, just knowing they're going to have the spotlight on them so much, you know you're going to get the Southeast Conference bias. The guys in here let us know about it enough. They do get it. There's no doubt about that.
Brian Kelly, the guy from Notre Dame?
Brian Kelly in Notre Dame, I don't think he's going anywhere right now. I don't think so. They've only lost one game. I mean, hell, they're still in the playoffs.
He's been there a long time now.
4 years, 3 years.
Oh, no longer than that. He was the previous Cincinnati coach, wasn't he?
Brian Kelly.
Well, I mean, that's where he was before Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly, Notre Dame coach. Was he there or was he he's only 62. Yeah, he was at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been the head football coach at Notre Dame since 2009. Yeah. That is impressive to be there 12 years.
Yeah.
He's 60 years old. His annual salary is $1.6 million. If anybody ever wanted to jump and go to a new school, that would be the guy. You're right.
Does he want to go?
West.
I mean, it sounds like he might be a Midwest guy. I mean, he's still there, and that's where he was before.
That's the thing about Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell has 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
Does he want to pick up from Cincinnati and go to USC? But I think now this is what
he might be waiting for a Big Ten job to open up. You just don't
maybe, and the thing is, obviously, the job he'd be waiting for is Penn State
or Michigan.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think he'd rather have Penn State job though.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's been so long that they're already talking about. They've been talking about for 2 months USC getting a coach. I think they got their coach. I think they've got their coach already, and they're keeping it under wraps. And if it's Fickell, Luke, when you lose a game, come on down. If you don't want to play your New Year's Bowl game, come on down. We got a place ready for you here in Southern California, and we'll triple your salary, double it anyway. That's some things that Cincinnati can't do. That's some things that some of those Big Ten teams can't do. They cannot pay them $7-8 million. They just can't.
And you think Urban's stay in NFL for a while now?
Urban Meyer's a tough cat to figure, man, because Urban Meyer's got so much. He's got baggage now.
Oh yeah,
he's got so much baggage.
You know that if he goes to a college campus again, there's going to be cameras following him everywhere he goes. I mean, he's not going to be able to go to parties and stuff.
And there's going to be chaos following him everywhere he goes. Because, I mean, my Lord, what college campus does not have bars? What college campus doesn't have girls? What college campus doesn't have, just wild times? Most of them do. It's inviting him to go back and turn his clock back 30 more years. And then, I just think if he can get along.
Kyle Rudolph, King Pizza fan.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph's supposed to start for Pittsburgh today. If he can stay out of trouble in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville don't give a shit really what he does on Saturday night. I mean, Sunday night after a win, they don't care. That is what Kelly did to us when we played in the Sugar Bowl. Well, he just up, just up and left. Yeah, he was at Cincinnati. That's right. He was at Cincinnati. Went to, you know, that's a high pressure. I mean, that's a pressure cooker. If you don't want a pressure cooker, don't go to Notre Dame.
Who did they play in the Sugar Bowl that year, Frank? I don't recall. It had to be an SEC team.
King Pizza fan. I think Beckham was going to mess the Rams up completely. The dude is a straight up cancer. It could happen. It could happen. Me and Keith's been talking about it. He could come in there.
Yeah, he might have too much power now.
Yeah, because with him starting, he can go to the coach and say this and this and this. Now that don't mean for a second that the coach can't bench him, but you got to have a lot of confidence to set any practice squad wide receiver down and start him.
Okay.
Florida. Okay.
That was before Dan Mullen?
Oh, yeah. Dan Mullen.
I'm just kidding. I know it is. That was a long time ago.
What do they say? Dan Mullen is so new.
Because Herb was there since then, you know.
What they say? Dan Mullen's so new at Florida, he's still wearing a diaper, and said, damn good thing, because he'd been in shit himself 5 times after all those losses. But he might strive, and he may try to thrive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if he gets
4 or 5 catches,
at least 5 to 7, yeah, in that range.
Attempt, if they're just throwing it to him, trying to get it to him. But the thing of it is, Stafford can't go into this game thinking, I've got to throw to this cat, or all hell's going to break loose on the sideline.
Do the Rams, like early in the game, I've been wondering, like in the first drive, first play or two, do they take a shot to him just to try to
or how about I end the round? How about I end the round, just hand it to him, let him run?
And then don't have any blocking over there for him. Boom!
Oh, yeah. Just open him. Just open him up. Oh, yeah. Well, we gave it to OBJ the first play of the game.
Oh, man, that would be rotten, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Meyer was a coach with Tebow. Yeah, you're right. Then he went to OSU after that. Won there. Now he's at Jacksonville. I just think Meyer now, what college team could trust him? I mean, my Lord, if you're number one, if you're a small school, he's not going there anyway. He's not going somewhere that's going to pay him $2 million a year. He's not going anywhere that pays $3 or $4 million.
He's got to go to a school that's at least as big as his head.
LSU or Alabama, something that big, is going to pay him $8.5 million. And who in their right mind right now would pay this cat $8.5 million, not knowing where his head screwed him? Because I'm telling you, I think, the last thing you want to do is bring a guy in there, and the next thing you know, there's allegations that Urban Meyer was messing around with 4 of the cheerleaders or some bullshit like that. I mean, that could happen, folks. I mean, I'm not laughing about it, and I'm not joking about it. But when you have that much smoke attached to your rear end, there's a little bit of fire too going on. He's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach. The NFL pretty much lets you do what you want to do, and I think that's where he wants to be now. I don't know. Going to get my wings. Have a safe and blessed day, fellas. Frank, have a great one, bud. What were your thoughts on the Baylor fans rushing the field with 1 second left? Look.
As they were kicking the field goal, or as it went through the uprights, or?
Oh, no. They rushed the field first.
Oh. That's why there was such a delay before that game ended.
They rushed the field first. And then
I was following it on my phone, and it said 3 seconds left. It seemed like forever.
Yeah. And then what happened? Let me tell you what happened. They rushed the field, and all start jumping in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Announcement. All personnel, please clear the field. The game is not over. The game is not over. The game is not over. Clear the field, students. Clear the field. So they were warned that a bunch of times. They didn't. Number one, they didn't throw a flag. I didn't see no reason to. It's a 10-point game.
Well, they probably thought they were going to take a knee,
So-
and the game was over anyway.
So what happened was the referee, the side judge, and all of them go over there and start talking to the Oklahoma coach, and he starts getting livid. And I'm wondering why is he getting livid with them? But we find out in about 5 minutes. I'll tell you folks this yet. So he is bitching at him, raising hell, like, okay, we can go now. No, you can't. No, you can't. You don't have to bring anybody on the field if you don't want to, but they may score a touchdown. We're not going to promise you nothing. He goes and gets a couple of assistants to go out there and just get 11 players. I don't care who. The starting quarterback, Williams, played defense on the last play for him. He was standing there like this they made all of them put their helmets on, but other than that, they were just standing around doing this. Then all of a sudden, here comes the kicker out for Baylor. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. It's like, uh-oh. They're lining up. I'm telling you, they're lining up like they're going to go kill a kicker. I'm serious. Even in quarterback. The announcers are saying, what in the world are these guys doing? What in the world are these guys doing? They center the ball, they hike it, and they kick it through the uprights. 2, 1, click. They rush the field again. The 11 Oklahoma players are walking back to the dressing room like they could give two shits less. The first thing they do, they grab a microphone, they put it in the coach of Baylor's face. What about this field goal? Why? It was a tiebreaker, for a tiebreaker. Folks, for it to reach that level, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. The coach should not have even thought about kicking that field goal. That's the only reason they called the kids back, Keith. You see, the coach for Oklahoma wanted them to run the clock off. But then once he told them to bring his team back, he was – I mean, you watch him. I mean, he is chewing their asses out. Oh, man. What percentage do the following coaches have of getting fired? Manny Diaz, 20%. James Franklin, 45%. They're wanting his head up in Penn State. Dan Mullen, 95%. Mullen's got to go. Mullen has to go. What were your thoughts on the Baylor fans rushing the field? Oh, yeah, that's right. We already read that.
You know, if you look at the starting running backs in the NFL today, this is going in a different direction. How many of them do you think were worthy, and I don't know what rounds they were drafted in, how many of them do you think would have been worthy of a first-round pick, though?
Steelers. The kid for the Steelers is
Harris.
Yeah, Najee
and
Harris.
Henry, I guess.
He's hurt, though.
Right. But I mean, if they're injured, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
First-string running backs. Is there any? I mean, the guy with the Saints.
McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, McCaffrey.
Kamara.
Yeah. I guess he would probably be one. Chubb?
Yes. How about Gibson? Gibson for Washington. I don't think he's not a first-round pick now.
Mixon? You think?
Bengals?
Yeah. You think he's that good?
Yeah, I think he's really good.
Elliott?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? We done picked them all clean. We done picked them all. Edwards-Helaire. Edwards-Helaire can play, but the problem is Edwards-Helaire can't run when he doesn't have an offensive line, for the Chiefs. I'm not sure he's first round. I'm not sure he's that good, but he's good. Top 3 best rookies of all time.
That's kind of a tough question there, Alex.
Alex asks some wild ones once in a while. King Pizza fan, Duke is 3-0.
Alex, give us yours, and then we can see.
Yeah, we'll follow it up. But right now we're actually going to head out. I'm going to go down and check on my parents real quick, check on my mom. You all have a great, great day. Keith has already gave you his lock of the day, folks. If you want to make
whatever that's worth,
if you want to make money, okay, not only listen to what Keith says, follow his advice. Keith
gosh,
Keith says, take the Packers and give up 5. Rob says, take the Buccaneers, give up 7.5, give up 10. If somebody says you got to give up 12, do it. Okay.
Jonathan Taylor. Colts.
He's good. He's good.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but Dalvin Cook's in trouble now. Yeah.
With what?
What do you do the other week?
Legal trouble?
Yeah.
Team trouble?
Yeah, legal shit. He done got in trouble.
Goodness.
Dalvin Cook. Let's see. Woman files lawsuit against Minnesota Vikings cook. Oh, yeah. What it was, his girlfriend came in his house and he slapped the shit out of her. Later down, Tim.
Well, that's her allegation. Hey, Tim.
Yeah. So, he said he slapped the shit out of her. He said she broke into his house.
Tim, I don't hear you.
Huh?
Tim, I don't hear him.
He's got his Indian shirt on today, too. That's why.
Yeah, it's good. There's no audio.
Uh-oh, he's leaving us again.
He's going to try to come back.
But yeah. What he's saying is the woman broke into his house, and I want to say maybe he's got another girlfriend. So he got him a girlfriend and another girlfriend, a girlfriend and a friend, or whatever you want to call them. She saw her. She ripped into his ass, and he laid one on her and knocked her ass down. He calls 911 and said, "Look,
it would help if I would have actually turned the mute off."
Oh yeah.
Did we show that guy from the Ravens in the elevator?
Oh, Ray Rice.
Oh yeah, Ray Rice. That was down at the Showboat, and me and my wife and my mom and dad, we know that casino good as good as about.
So you know what
elevator that at? Is that in Vegas?
No, Showboat was in Atlantic City.
You know what elevator that is?
Oh, I knew exactly the elevator. I knew the place. Oh yeah, we used to go to there. We loved making trips down there. That was my favorite casino of any casino I ever went to.
Let me put some light on this situation.
Vegas got shit on that casino. I loved it, man. They had older machines. I'd take my mom and dad. We'd take them with us, and they could get off of the elevator where he beat his girlfriend up. They wouldn't have 20 steps, and they could go to the exact machines they like to play. So we knew we wouldn't have to look for my mom and dad if we were going to go out and play on the floor. And the floor wasn't huge, but it was a lot. It was all right.
So
interesting players would make good MMA fighters. Aaron Rodgers. I'd love to see him get the hell beat out of him a couple of times.
The guy for the Bears last week that got penalized, that did that flying spinning kick.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I didn't see the spinning kick, but I ain't been watching the Bears too much in the last week or two because they're a train wreck.
Actually, the one that probably could have been a decent MMA fighter, but unfortunately he's not passed, but maybe he could have done it in his prime. Kevin Green.
Yeah, he might could have. Yeah, he did some.
I thought he did a better professional wrestler, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He had the look. He had the personality. Maybe a few more moves, and he'd have been
a few more steroids.
Well, he was also the Brian Bosworth disease, except he lasted a little bit longer. 24-year-old self with 60-year-old shoulders.
Is Kayvon Thibodeau projected number 1 pick?
Who is he?
Thibodeau is a defensive lineman. I want to say, somebody tell me Iowa, Purdue. Help me out, Alex.
Oh,
Kayvon Thibodeau. I want to say Iowa or Purdue one. And right now, I ain't seen nobody
I'll
right
the
now.
chat here.
I want to say.
Oh, star rusher for Oregon. Okay.
He's what?
He's Oregon.
Oh, he plays for Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
Star edge rusher for Oregon. Yeah. But I've not seen any quarterback that deserves being number one. That's me. I haven't really seen a wide receiver that just takes my breath away this year to the point those wide receivers did last year.
And there ain't going to be no running back ever that's going to go number one again.
No. Probably so, Alex. Probably. It wouldn't surprise me if the first 7 picks are defensive linemen or offensive linemen. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Then you may see Malik Willis, Matt Corral, the kid from Pittsburgh, what's his name? Pickett, Kenny Pickett. But I'm not sure they're number one. I'm not sure they high number ones. I think they're middle number ones. Now,
so we may see a lot of trading going on if you have one of the top picks.
Now, let me ask you two guys this. If San Francisco right now could turn back a clock back to the draft, would they have taken Mac Jones with that number 3 pick, or do you think they would still stand pat with who they took?
Well, the problem is I don't know if Mac Jones would have fit in their offense. There was a reason why they didn't pick him, because they didn't think he'd fit in their offense. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. You take the best player with the best results, and you say, hey, you should put him on this team. But if that team's offense and skill set doesn't fit,
well, did they think he was another Garoppolo or
49ers almost run it? They don't run that much different than the Patriots, though. They run a pro. They run a pro I set or either just a pro 1 set, and generally 7 drop or 4 drop. They don't do a lot of RPOs and stuff like that.
I will say this though, not having Kittle is hurting the 49ers more than is being let on.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. But let me also ask you this. Who has more weapons right now, right today?
Oh, right now it's the 49ers, easily because of Deebo Samuel.
And that's what I'm saying. I really think he would have shined in that system. But I think Garoppolo would have been looking for a job by now. I really do. I think Garoppolo would have probably been traded at the deadline. He probably would have ended up somewhere like, oh shit. This is
Jets.
How about New Orleans?
Broncos?
How about
Saints?
New Orleans? Yeah.
Yeah.
If Spencer Rattler kept his name in the NFL draft, where would he fall with all the ups and downs this year? He played like shit yesterday. He played
no. Rattler didn't play like shit. Caleb Williams did.
Both of them played like shit. Neither one of them did nothing. Caleb
Williams.
Did
I read that Baylor almost had more rushing yards than Oklahoma had total yards?
Yes. And the thing is, their rushing yards in the second half, it was 4 minutes left to go in the game. It was -1 in the second half. That was Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That was you can't.
Both teams couldn't do crap in the first half.
First 20 minutes of the game, neither team did crap. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
And I was like, ooh, this could work out. And then the second half happened.
Spencer Rattler is not – he's not anybody's solution in the NFL. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
He'll be lucky to be an undrafted free agent if he comes out.
Yeah. But he's already announced that he wants to transfer in the portal. But
I get that, but
if you go to the transfer portal, you're supposed to take your name out of the active list with Oklahoma now. So I don't know. I don't know where his head is. My friend Chris says Bryce Young, quarterback for Alabama for Heisman. Yeah, he's probably the top of the quarterback list. But why has a quarterback got to get it? And to me, no quarterback this year has lit everybody up. When I say that, I think for a quarterback,
Stroud's had some meh games.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like he's thrown for 300 yards against the best competition, and they've had close games. If there's ever going to be a defensive lineman or a defensive player to get to Heisman, this is a year.
Yeah.
This is a year because nobody is saying, Well, this Kenny Pickett from Pitt, he is going to be the Heisman Trophy winner. They're all coming out at the
I'll tell you what, that running back from Michigan State puts up 2 good games. Puts up 2 good games against Ohio State and whoever they play. He could put himself in the front runner position.
How many yards has he got so far, Keith?
Who, Walker?
Yeah.
I hope he has over 1,000. If not, then you can take his name off the list.
1,483.
Ooh.
He's got 1,400?
Yeah.
This year.
Wow. If he could put up if he could get 1,700 yards.
17 touchdowns.
Ooh.
You don't have individual games.
228 attempts.
Oh, like what's he done in certain games?
Right. I don't want to see where he went to Western Michigan and ran 400 yards, and then played against Purdue and got 73. That kind of shit.
Well, I think he had a lot of yards against Michigan.
Yeah, he got 175 against Michigan. Yeah, but I'm wondering what he did. Who has the best wide receiver in college football right now? I still say University of Virginia has one of the top 5.
All right, let's see. Going backwards, at Purdue, he had 146, 197 against Michigan, 84 against Indiana, 233 against Rutgers, 126 against Western Kentucky, only 61 against Nebraska, 172 at Miami. Let's see, YSU. I'm not sure what that
Youngstown State.
57 yards, but he only ran 7 times at an 8-yard average.
Which team
264 against Northwestern.
Which team beat Michigan?
Michigan State. Yeah.
Which team beat them?
Purdue.
Yeah. What did he do against Purdue?
23 for 146.
That's not terrible.
3-yard average.
This is what they've got to do for him to win the Heisman. Number one, they got to win out. They got to win out, and he's got to run for 100 yards against Ohio State.
Yeah,
I think he's got to.
He's got 12 receptions for 85 yards.
That ain't bad either, not for running back, and they don't throw the ball that much.
No, they're a run-first team.
But they're not going to be favored to win against Ohio State. Ohio State.
I could probably pull up the early line for them already.
I'll take a guess.
Okay.
Is it at Michigan State?
No, I believe it's at the Horseshoe.
Five and a hook.
Hold on.
Ohio State.
Actually, no, they don't have the lines yet.
All right. That's just for my humor here.
All right.
What would you guess are the yards passing, touchdowns, and interceptions for Max Johnson?
The Michigan State quarterback?
LSU.
Oh, LSU's quarterback. Okay.
Did he get pulled last night?
How many games have they played? 10? 10 games?
How many games has he played? 10. But he only had 6 snaps last night.
Okay. How many yards has he thrown for?
Yeah.
1975.
I'm gonna say that's pretty close. I'm gonna say 2015.
2,190.
2190. Okay, touchdown passes. Wow, I know they've played
22.
Oh no, not even close. 14 maybe.
22. Tim's right on it.
Really? Oh
20.
my!
He had that
God.
big game.
How many blind defensive backs did he play? Oh good Lord!
And receivers that had like magnetic hands to the football.
I had the Cliff Branch stick 'em.
Yeah. Just hit him in the helmet.
22 touchdowns. 22 touchdowns. I'm gonna say 10 picks.
Tim, picks.
Let's 10 games. 13 picks.
13, he says.
10 and 13. No, 6.
Oh,
6. It's not bad.
Is his completion percentage less than 60%?
All right, Alex, you too, bud. Yeah,
he averages 219 yards a game. 59.9%.
That's why. And then he's going to get
it done. That's not getting it done. That's college.
Yards per attempt, 7.3.
That's a lot of dinking and dunking.
Yeah. All right, guess how many rushing yards he has? You might be impressed by this. 60 attempts. I think sacks might be included in
that. 70?
How many?
270?
No. How much did you say?
270.
270. I got a feeling they've been sacked a few times. Every time you get sacked, it counts as minus yards. I'm going to say 215.
Minus 17.
Okay. So he's not the runner then. Okay.
His long rush of the year. What would you guess that is?
Yeah, maybe
13,
14 yards.
12.
12. Yeah. Lord have mercy. Me and Tim look like dunces on that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've bragged on the guy so much this year.
And the fact is, if you want to, I mean, let's be fair about it. Go to Kenny Pickett. Go to Kenny Pickett at Pittsburgh and look at his rushing yards for the year. I guarantee you, I mean, he's a good player, but look at his rushing yards for the year. It's probably under 100 because he's been sacked too. Sacks makes a hell of a difference, man. When you go back 10 yards, 8 yards, and get creamed 3 or 4 times. Now he may have a couple hundred yards rushing.
Yeah, he does. He has a couple hundred yards rushing.
I didn't know how much of a running quarterback he was.
But even then, he's at least a viable option.
Right. He gives you
7.5% completions for him.
How many? 75?
67.5.
Yeah, it's okay. You need somebody above 70 though if you're thinking about
guys.
NFL.
Let me check out Malik Willis over here at Liberty.
3,517 yards for Pickett.
Malik Willis senior stats this year.
32 touchdowns, 4 picks.
All right. Malik Willis over here at Liberty, which I still say he's one of the top 3 to go this year, I think. 2,159 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, 9 INTs. Let's see. And his percentage rating is 66.4, and he's been over 70 3 of the last 4 games. So one of the highest of the years was Syracuse, and that was a loss. But they've played some meatball teams, and he's played some. He threw 3 interceptions against Ole Miss. But, I mean, we're talking about Ole Miss, a top 15 team in the country, and Liberty does not have the line they had last year. Last year was a special team. This year, they're good, but they're not that great. If he could have came out last year, I still say he would have been at least a second-round pick. This year, the only reason he's a first-round pick is there's not a lot of better quarterbacks than him. But I would love to see Washington get him because he stands in the pocket and throw the football. And rushing, he's ran for 755 yards this year too.
Okay,
so that's pretty good. Throw for 2,100 and 755, 4.9 a carry, and that's counting your sacks. So that's not bad. 10 touchdowns. His longest runs 56 yards this year. So he can tote the mail when he has to. He does all right.
Yeah.
But, Pickett ran some. But, when we was talking about the kid from LSU, I had no idea he didn't run at all.
Negative yards, yeah.
Yeah, he runs like his dad did. His dad didn't do any running. Well, his dad could actually elude people. That's what they call him, elusive. But, elusive. All elusive means is that's a white dude that can't run. And most time if somebody's trying to hit him, he can get away from you. Like if you got
like essentially he'll get back to the line of scrimmage if you need to. He ain't gonna take a 10-yard sack.
Yeah. He'll get away from you for a second, even if he can just throw the ball away and do something. But that's elusive. Yeah, elusive is not. I doesn't pay the bills in the NFL. He's an elusive quarterback. That ain't what you want to hear.
No.
Hey, Tim, you're at lock of the week, man.
For the NFL?
Yeah. I've told them we had 7.5 with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm the Buccaneers over WTF.
Yeah, and that's what they'll be saying about halfway through the second quarter. It's going to be mean.
You hope so, but let's hope DC hasn't gotten any of Cleveland's weather yet. Visible snow in Berea.
We checked the weather earlier, and it's looking pretty good everywhere except Green Bay today. Green Bay looks like it may get a little snow and stuff later. The winds may pick up in a couple of places, but we checked all of the places out. 4 or 5 games in domes today. That makes a difference too.
Hey, yeah. Tim, are you interested in Rob's opinion of the end of the Baylor game?
Where they kicked the field goal because of I saw that. I'm like, early at that point, just if your record is not good enough that you have to kick a field goal in the final seconds for tie-breaking procedures, get the hell off the field.
You see, I was wondering why the Oklahoma coach. I mean, he was.
He was angry because he had just gotten whipped for 4 quarters.
Well, that too, but they'd already told him to bring his team back on the field. All he wanted to do was see 3 zeros put on the damn clock, and then we'll go home.
Right.
But they grabbed the coach by the arm, and they done like that. Said, "Hey, coach, wait just a second." And then they were saying the other team wants to perform a play.
Yeah,
and he's he starts going the hell off. Then he grabs another one and starts talking shit to him. And the side judge is doing this shit. Like, yeah, get him back. Yeah. And then one of the guys on defense that played defense for Oklahoma was their starting quarterback, Williams. He was one of the 11. He was one of the 11 that came back on the field.
Essentially, all they did was do what they do at the Pro Bowl, just stand there going.
Well, they did pretty much until this was the fancy shit though, and get the quarterback is standing in the middle of the field like this, and then all of a sudden they're just about ready to start play, and then all of a sudden you see 9 players run off the field, 9 come on. It was orchestrated. They had decided we're going to put 3 more on the board. And I'm telling you right now, that might be one they regret because teams don't forget that shit.
Nope.
Teams don't forget that shit. I mean,
and there wasn't any history of Oklahoma running up anything on Baylor.
I'm sure there is.
Oklahoma used to run the score up on everybody back 30 years ago, but it was not with this coach. No. And the thing of it is, to me, apples and oranges. So you go back and talk about what was that idiot coach at Oklahoma had and then Dallas had?
Barry Switzer?
Yeah, Switzer was a man among himself. I mean, this guy was kicking field goals up 50 points back in the 80s. I mean, yeah, he was.
Okay, so Rob, say Alabama needed that field goal to cover the spread yesterday. They didn't, thankfully, but do you think Saban would have kicked the field goal if needed be to cover the spread?
No, I don't think he would have at the end. But the thing is, he got that last cheap touchdown and made it 59 points early enough where they didn't have to. But I noticed he put his starting defensive line back in with 4 minutes to go when they were driving
from scoring. Yeah, I didn't see the whole game. I could have watched it.
It made him punt the ball. Then after that, he was just letting them run around the field. He didn't give a shit what they did as long as they didn't fumble the ball. But right. Saban takes care of his people. You can say what you want to. You go back the last 4 years, and when they were playing trash teams, you go back and look at the line, and you can almost guess what the score is. If the line was 48, there's a good chance they won 52-0 or 50.
Well, how soon before they make the NCAA or the SEC maybe makes them play an extra conference game to get rid of them playing a cupcake in November?
Well, I think probably it's going to end up being 25. when Oklahoma and Texas end up joining the SEC. I think that's probably the perfect time for them to do it. I don't know. To me, I wouldn't care at all if they start playing a week earlier. But if they do that, a lot of times schools haven't taken in yet, and that's kind of tough as far as getting people to come to the stands. But if you start off with, unless Florida taking on Samford again, that's got to be a rivalry. That's going to be a rivalry game from now on. Florida.
I thought they were playing on a 94-foot court instead of a 100-yard football field.
Man, oh man. See, but people will mistake me for saying Stanford. I didn't say Stanford. I said Samford. Yeah. Florida and Samford, they're going to become a rival game from now on for Florida. And
did you see Mullen's post-game conference?
No.
He said, "Were you relieved that you won?" And he gave up the big speech. Oh, why should we be relieved? They're wins. A win is a win, and they're an offensive football team.
You talking about Mullen?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
they're an offensive football team.
Yeah, they're an offensive football team.
He's gone.
Yeah. Wow, what
He's got a vote of confidence.
Well, what's a vote of confidence? Christmas. He's gonna get his Christmas wish list, and they're gonna send him a firing note in that because he's not going to a bowl game. That looks like.
Now he'll go to the toilet bowl.
Yeah, you go to the toilet bowl.
His Christmas card isn't going to read as nice as most of ours.
No. So Keith,
Merry Christmas. Fired.
Keith's taking the Packers.
Shit, you're gone.
Keith's locking a week is the Packers. He's going to do that. Me and Tim.
And I'm guaranteed to be wrong. I might guarantee.
Well, you can't do any worse than I did with freaking Oklahoma yesterday. Frickin' should have taken Michigan State over Maryland.
I almost did that, and then I opted for the Iowa, and they missed it by a point because of that point spread. I missed that one, or the.
My lock of the week was the Notre Dame game. I liked it. I liked that from the start. The lock of the week. Who took Oklahoma?
I did.
Oh, okay. So they're lock of the week, and then Keith took Iowa. Their locks kind of let you down yesterday, but me and Tim will pick you up today. Double bet this one, and then if somebody says we will give, if it's less than 10, triple bet it. And put all your chips on the table against Washington football team. Look, if you've got a real soft stomach, don't go in your bedroom, take a nap from 1 to 1:45, maybe 2 o'clock. Cut your television on, and by that time it should be 17-0, and you should feel fine. And you won't have a hard day then. You don't have to sit there.
Is there anybody that keeps track of like the percentages of how many games are won by the team that's favored? How many times the team that's favored covers?
Vegas does that. Vegas does that. Generally, if you go with the favorites throughout the year, you'll win about 52%.
Right. With
the favorites.
Yeah.
If you go straight down the line with favorites, you win 52%. But you wouldn't have a week. You wouldn't have. Keith went 13-6. We're giving him the two.
Because I took points a lot this time, I think.
Yeah, I went 14-5 this time, so it didn't do too bad. We'll get yours, Tim. I'll get yours updated.
I knew it wasn't good early. For that, hold on. I could probably get this right. Hold on. What was the score of the Minnesota game?
Let's see. Minnesota, you win with. It's -6. It's 27.
I know I lost with Perdon't.
Correct.
And then I got covered 20.
With Georgia?
Yep.
Yeah.
20.5. And then Michigan State covered for 13. Did Kentucky cover with Vandy?
No.
Won by 17.
Yeah.
All right.
34-17, I think.
Texas A&M didn't cover against Ole Miss.
Texas A&M. Ole Miss covered. You got that one.
Ole Miss covered. Okay.
Yeah, they won pretty handily.
Yes, they won by 10 points.
Okay, good. And then Fresno cover?
Yeah.
Easily. By 20. Well, it was 27, not easily, but they did cover.
Okay, and then
You lost.
Notre Dame covered. NC State didn't cover.
No, Wake Forest won that game outright by 3, not 2.
And then Oklahoma State minus 13.
Easily, they won by 40.
Okay, and then hopefully Oregon covered.
Yeah, but they won. They pushed.
Washington State, Oregon pushed. So since you picked a favorite team there, you get a point there.
Okay.
And then San Diego State.
That was another push.
They won by 3 at the.
Won by 2. They won by 2. So it was another push.
Another push. Okay, so and I picked the underdog, so I don't get a point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tim, Pittsburgh, yes. USF, yes. Alabama, yes. He took Penn State, no. He took Oklahoma, no. He took Auburn, no. He took Wisconsin, yes. He took Georgia. He took Ohio State. But now he took Minnesota. I got 6-4 so far is what I've got there. Let's flip a page.
I got 12 wins.
Did you?
Yeah, that's what I got.
So you went 12 and 7. 12 and 7 is not bad.
No, that's if I could go
12 and 7 every week.
Yeah, that's good for me. That's 60% at least, right?
We'll get Well, it's better than that. Almost 70. It's 70, right? It's 70%. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that every week.
Well, no, it's about 63%.
It's about 60%. Yeah. You're right, because if it's 14 and 7, you'd be 66% or 67. Yeah. So yeah, 63%. Right. So Tuesday night, Keith, Tim. We'll try to get that Harris fella to join us. Myself, Rob, we'll be here for you 7 p.m. We'll let you guys know how well we did today. I think Washington is going to flop. I really, really do. I don't like their chances at all. Keith is
which means Washington shows up.
Which means Washington actually beats the Super Bowl champions. No, it's not going to happen. And then the Packers. I'm feeling that one too. Feeling the Packers with the Seahawks, especially with some snow. And Rodgers is going to show off today. I'm with you. I think that happens today. Till we see you again, my name's Rob, Keith, Tim. Y'all have a great rest of your day. God bless, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.